for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. And folks, we've got an exciting show up ahead por delante. So everybody hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T minus 10,
9,
8,
7,
7,
6.
6,
Okay, 5.
4,
I got this. 2. No,
2,
4.
1,
Man.
0. Ignition.
I'm off to a bad start.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes.
Oh, wait. Hang on. We're turning this thing around. Come on, baby. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio.
It's a show with no name.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
That's right, amigos. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Time for another exciting show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Yeah, baby. Welcome one, welcome all. Wherever you're tuning in from, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Just a quick reminder, too, coming up now, it's really right around the corner. We got our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night coming up. It is March 1st. And it's hosted by Guy Williams, the host of Western Civilization. That's right, folks. It's March 1st, 2023, 8:30 p.m. Roll Madrid. All of us are going to be there. We hope to see you there, too. And I'm just going to warn you, be ready because you're going to learn a lot from Guy, as always. So we'll see you at the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, which is right around the corner. Also, I know it seems like it's far away, but book fair dates. May 26th to June 11th. Madrid Book Fair, May 26th to June 11th. We're going to be rocking at the book fair. And I can't tell you too much yet, but we've got some amazing news. But not yet. But you'll be the first to know, as always, anytime I've got information for you guys. Any kind of little bonuses. And speaking of, look at that. You know how usually there's a bonus episode of every FYI episode? So every week you can really get 2 episodes of FYI, a bonus. So last week we looked at entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is ser empresario, right? To be an entrepreneur. And I talked to my friend Fran Monach. And I decided to make the bonus episode available to everybody. There's just one thing. You got to find it. I can tell you where it is, but I haven't posted it. It's not live, but you can listen to it if you go over to my Patreon. The link is usually it's not an open post. It's not a public post, as they call it. But I made it public. So But I haven't posted it on social media. So what am I saying? If you want the bonus episode of entrepreneurship, which I highly recommend you give it a listen, because Fran not only gives us tips to be a good business person, but also he gives us tips to learn English. Because as many of you know, if you don't know Fran Monhat, he is a really cool dude. And him and his brother started You Talk TV. If you don't follow them on social media, you should. So if you want that bonus episode, there's only one place where that link is available. So you got to go over to patreon.com and then slash my name, Alberto Alonso, and you'll be able to download that episode. By the way, as with the show with no name, we love your feedback. You know, when I say I mean all of us. We enjoy getting your feedback. So thank you for being such an active part of Vaughn Radio. You guys are not just passive listeners. You're not just sitting there like passively listening to the radio. Now, because of technology we have, you can interact, you can watch your favorite programs. So remember, the best way to make sure you have everything is first, if you're looking for all the Vaughn Radio programs, that's the Vaughn Radio app, or you can download them on many different podcast platforms. And if you want information about the book fair, discounts, all kinds of upcoming events, such as the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, well, I'm going to recommend that you follow us on social media. And if you follow us on social media, you'll also learn so much as well, because we're constantly posting content, and you'll do really well in our pop quiz. Come on, pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah, sing it with me, folks. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. That's right. It's our pop quiz. And today it's brought to us by one of the most talented people on Vaughn Radio, IMO, in my opinion, one of the most talented people on Vaughn Radio. And I'm talking about none other than the one and only Dave Boys. If you have not listened to his program, I should say, you've got to give it a listen. It's entertaining, it's educational, it's musical. It's a grab bag. You never know what you're going to expect. And that's similar to the show with no name. That's also similar to Let's Get Random. I mean, all our programs, you don't know. You can expect to have fun and to learn. So listen to Dave's program, The Salad. Remember, he's also the author of Canciones en Inglés. Canciones con animales en inglés para aprender inglés. I can't remember the exact name, but go over to vaughntienda.com and you can pick up this amazing, dare I say, magical resource. All right, folks, vaughntienda.com is where you can get all our amazing things, such as this book is The Milk 2. This book is The Milk, the first one, the bestseller. English Everywhere, my first book. English on the Go, the latest book that I put out, and so much more. Check it out. It's the Vaughn Tienda. And if what you're interested in is courses, or if you want to find out about Masters or Vaughn Town or any of our different initiatives, you can go over to grupovaughn.com, or you can contact us via social media, which is always if you want courses, don't contact me. Then I'm going to say, tienes que contactar con ellos. So go straight to grupovaughn.com and say, hey, listen, I'm interested in doing this. Or I want a free level test, because as you know, we give you guys a free level test, because we're not just going to take you as a student without knowing who you are, what your needs are, right? So you got to go through that anyway. And even if after you get the level test, you're like, you know what? I don't like the suggestions you gave me. I can't afford them, or whatever. Everybody's got their story, no problem. No, we're not going to hate you. You can still learn from us on Vaughn Radio. I mean, as you guys know, you got 24 hours a day. You got English content. All right, let's see what Dave Boys has in store for us in his translation. Now, what I love about Dave's translations is he really uses these collocations well, these native expressions, these native ways of wording things. He uses them beautifully. Okay. And he teaches these real, because you can say, I didn't go to work because I was feeling sick. Okay. So I called my boss and told him, I'm not going to make it today. Now that's a long sentence and it's fine. But this is, let's see if you guys listen to the show. Let's see if you know this translation. So, mi jefe llamó para avisar que iba a estar enfermo, que no iba a estar en la oficina por dolor de garganta. Okay? So, but again, I'm giving it to you roughly translated. I want you to give this to me in the most native way possible. If possible, the way Dave Boys gave it to us. So, mi jefe, and when you look this up, is dio parte de enfermo. Llamó para decir que estaba enfermo. Avisó que no iba a ir al trabajo por enfermedad. Now, that's a long sentence in Spanish, but in English, it's a little collocation, and Dave gave it to us on his show, The Salad. So, mi jefe llamó para avisar que no iba a estar por enfermedad, no por enfermedad, por dolor de la garganta. Okay? So, good luck, my amigos. I think it's a tough one. If you know this one, it's totally native without a doubt. All right, I see we've got a lot of our friends checking in. Fichando, you say? Checking in here in our virtual classroom. So let's get a little beat going. Give me a beat. Yeah. There it is. All right, let's see who's on board and ready to rock. There's Kubla. He says, good morning, graceful companions. Laura, she says, good morning, beautiful show with no namers. Let's have hang on, wait for it, magical start to the week together. I hope you and Diana had a wonderful time in Lisbon. Yeah, Lisbon is lovely. Can't find anything negative to say about the city. We really enjoyed it. And, we even had a delay. Our flight was delayed, but even that didn't, we had a wonderful trip. And it was, a huge step, un paso enorme. Why? It was the first time we left my daughter. We spent the night, 2 nights, without my daughter. As I said, she was in good hands. She was with her aunt. She was with her uncle. She was with her cousins, her grandma. So she barely missed us. I mean, she gave me a huge hug, and she told me that she missed me 20 times and told me that she loved me 20 times when we saw each other on Sunday. But I have a feeling that she wasn't missing me too much, because when her aunt would send us videos, she was having the time of her life. And she never felt like this before. Yes, I swear. Sing it. It's the truth. And I owe it all to you. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, good morning, Alberto and mates. I hope you had an amazing weekend. No doubt. It was nice to get some time with wifey. Wifey es una forma cariñosa de mi mujer. My wifey. We had some nice time alone for 5 minutes. And we missed our daughter. As I said, I think we missed her more than she missed us. So Born to Iron Man in the house, presente. And he says, good morning, friends. What's up, buddy? Laura says, thank you for your generosity. I listened to the first part of the episode, and it was really interesting. Thank you so much, Laura, for the feedback. As you know, every episode of FYI and the show with no name has one thing in common. They're all made with TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. Don't go. That's TLC, the group, right? But also TLC, as you know, Show with No Namers is tender, loving care, el toque de cariño. So yeah, Laura, my pleasure. You just got to go over to my Patreon because I haven't shared it on social media. So it's just for people who are curious and want to go look for it. You'll find it right away because I think it's the last public post that you'll see there. So enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and you're very welcome, Laura. Lupe says, morning, friends. Ready to rock. I don't doubt it for a second. Lupe. Yeah. Let's see. Kubla taking a stab at our totally native pop quiz. Oh, wait. Kubla, you're missing half. That's 2 and 1. I don't know, man. That means you didn't wait, or you made a mistake and hit send. No sé si le tenéis que dar a send. It's interesting. I've never watched a live video on YouTube, so I don't even know, the user experience. It's interesting. Never thought of that before. So let's see. He says, my boss called in sick, and then he said, because of a sore throat. The second part is not really a full sentence. I mean, it's right? But it's, let's see. As always, the way this works is when there's a silly little error like that, we just see if somebody else got it right. Not that it's wrong, Kubla, but you saw what you did there. Maybe it was an accident. Let's see. Laura, my boss called in sick because he had a sore throat. There it is. All in one. Totally native. Kubla, I think you got too excited there. You got trigger happy. Do you know this one? Trigger happy. Que se te va el gatillo. Great, guys. I know you knew it, but Laura got it all together there in one sentence as I prefer it. Jesus says, my boss called in sick cause he had a sore throat. Now, Jesus, you're missing the period. So if I want to be a stickler right now, Laura's the only one who's gotten it right. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that Kubla and Jesus kind of got it, but I'm not looking for kinda. Not in my class. I don't want kinda. I want it. I want it all, baby. So it's good, but I'm not looking for good. I'm looking for excellent, Smithers. There's Chris Valrol. Speaking of excellence, excelencia, she says, my boss called in sick today because of a sore throat. The ladies are dotting their I's and crossing their T's. Fellas, what's going on with you guys? Good job, ladies. Let's get a nice round of applause. Kicking ass. You go, girl. You go, girl. Go, girl. Let's see. Well, if we got to go for thoroughness, the ladies are taking it today. Lupe says, my boss called in sick because he had a sore throat. Awesome. That's it. Wow. Excellent. Ricardo, just be careful. The wording, you're missing a period at the end, so technically it's wrong, but my boss called in sick since his sore throat. Since we wouldn't say, you could say since he had, porque tuvo, or porque tu, desde que tuvo, but we wouldn't say since his sore throat. But guys, I got to say something. Excellent job. And you want to know what David said? Dave shortened it even more. My boss called in sick. So es que es más literal imposible. To call in sick. I'm calling into the office to tell him I'm not coming in. I can't. Last week, I should have, debería haberlo hecho. I should have called in sick, but you know me. I'm a workaholic. I'm not a chocoholic, but I am a workaholic, no doubt about it. So, great job again. My boss called in sick. Now, let me tell you where Dave, because of is fine. On account of, very formal. Due to, fine. I like because or cause of. because of or cause of, but with nos vale también, con tal aflicción. So my boss called in sick today with a sore throat. Thankfully, last week I didn't have a sore throat. Then I would have had to cancel the show. I mean, I was just congested, and I still have a little bit in there. Oh, man, there's a lot in there. Let's see. Vero in the house. There she is. Speaking of chocoholics, adictas al chocolate, chocoholics. Vero says, morning, beautiful people. Happy cat world. I like it. Bueno, es diferente because happy World Cat Day, Día Mundial de los Gatos. But happy Cat World Day is Mundo de Gatos. I like it, though. I like it. I can see it. Cat. It's a cat world. We're just living in it. Excuse me, folks. As you can see, I've got a little congestion left. Oh, man, I'm trying. Hot showers. I mean, I was next to the sea, you know? Lisbon has something Madrid doesn't. A waterfront. Yeah, we miss that here. I do personally. And I'm not a big beach guy, but I just like having water near. It cleans the air, you know? I don't want to talk about the air in Madrid. And I love Madrid. But sometimes you realize when you travel, you know, I wish we had better quality air. Or I wish there weren't so many modern buildings that don't say anything. Because the architecture in Portugal, okay, you can call it old school, you can call it, you know, it needs renovation, but I call it beautiful. It's got character. It's actually absolutely beautiful. I'm sure many of you, you know, having Portugal here as your neighbor. And something I thought was interesting too. Portuguese people are Portuguese people and Spanish people are Spanish people. Very different. Even the way they look, you know, that obviously the sound, you know, they use, the sounds are different. The food is similar in many ways, right? But the wine, I was talking to my brother-in-law yesterday because yesterday we celebrated with the family. We had a little barbecue. And I've only tried, let's say a handful. You say un puñado, perdona, los puristas. And I've only tried a handful of wine, right? Portuguese wine, excuse me. And every bottle I've tried has been amazing. So yay, Portugal, for your yummy wine. Let's see. German. And Vero, sorry, I didn't finish your comment. She says, happy Wanna Dance 10th anniversary. Oh, yeah. Thank you. It's the 10th anniversary of I Want to Dance, Lift Your Hands. I'm changing the rhythm to go with this one. But if you don't know it, guys, I participated. I wrote lyrics and then I performed them to the song Wanna Dance. If you haven't heard this, I'm going to be posting it on social media. But if not, you can go to YouTube and punch in Wanna Dance, DJ Valdi, and get ready to laugh. It's me rapping, and I wrote the rap, and the song went to #1 on the Maxima FM dance charts. And I remember being at like the Feria in Malaga. I remember being in Almeria and like, I want to dance. And I'm like, holy shit. This is like I said back then, and I'll say it now, 10 years down the road, pinch me. Pellizcame, pinch me, because it feels like a dream when I tell people, like, wait, what do you mean you're a lyricist and rapper? I'm like, well, I've got a few songs under my belt. You know this expression? Under my belt. I think you say, en mi haber. So thank you, Vero. Yeah, put it on. If you haven't, it's a great way to brighten up the start of your week. German, what's up? German says, Alberto, I've been missing the show with no name, and now my life sucks. I need some advice. Oh, man. Well, first, it's not that bad, man. You know, just the fact that you're healthy, you're a good person, you got a lot going for you. So your life doesn't suck. I don't think so. I don't know you very well, but you seem like you got everything, you know, that you need. Sometimes it takes a little extra, but man, you need to listen to the show with no name more. A double dose, man. Triple dose of the show with no name. It can't hurt. All right, well, folks, we've got to go to our first commercial break. I can't believe it myself. The first part of the show has come and gone. The good news, we'll be right back with tons more show with no name. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And you guys, remember how I told you I like to let you guys in on secrets? Well, guess who's coming over to my house today? To my home studio. In fact, I even cleaned up. Hasta limpié y todo. I mopped, I dusted. My studio is somewhat clean. Algo limpio. I tidied up. You can say to tidy up or to clean up. El tidy up es más británico. Tidy up, folks. Tidy up. Can you please tidy up your room? So why did I tidy up? Why did I clean up my office for the first time in a long time? Today, I'm getting a very special visitor here after this show. And I'm talking about none other than Richard Vaughn. What? Yeah, Richard Vaughn is coming here today to my home studio to record an upcoming episode of FYI. I haven't told anybody that information yet. So there's another show with no name exclusive. That's right, Richard Vaughn will be on the program. It'll be the first episode of season 5 of For Your Ingles. We're going to learn Richard Vaughn's whole story, and he's going to give us some tips, some do's and don'ts. So I'm really excited about the upcoming 5th season. That is, it blows my mind. 5 seasons now. Soon it'll be 5 seasons, and every season has 30 episodes. Well, 60 if 30 for the general public and 60 if you guys are a part of my community. But it is incredible when I think of how many episodes I've produced and how many downloads. Soon we're going to be hitting 500,000 downloads. So again, none of that would have been possible without you guys. And what I promise, prometo, I vow to do is to keep making the shows better. The Show with No Name, FYI, bringing cool guests, teaching you guys vocabulary, expressions, pronunciation, common mistakes, and all that jazz. So, folks, we've got so much to do in today's Show with No Name. Let's get right into today's Say What? Say what? What? Yeah, it's the Say What soundbite on the Show with No Name. It's the Say What soundbite. Say what? 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 Who we gonna hear from today? And what they gonna say in the Say What soundbite? Hang on tight. Yeah, it's the Say What soundbite, folks, on the Show with No Name. And as always, we're going to listen to a famous person speaking. And what do you guys have to do? Well, you have to translate it into Chinese. No, just kidding. You just have to listen carefully and just tell me what you heard in your best English possible. Okay? Try and be succinct or concise, sucinto, conciso, same words, succinct or concise, but also try and say a lot in a little, right? That's what we're going for here. Instead of like what you see on TV these days, you see a lot being said, you see a little being said with a lot, right? A lot of words to say a little. Well, we want to do it the opposite way as society, okay? So we want to try and get our point across eloquently, to get across, comunicar claramente, to get our point across eloquently without using too many words either. You want to use a nice adjective, but not 75, right? Because then you're missing out on your message. So it's a very difficult thing to do in your own language. Tell it to me in 5 words. I'm not saying this because I want you to give me more information. I want to see if you recognize the accent and all that jazz. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we've got my dad with us on board. Awesome. My dad said he's going to translate it to Mandarin. Awesome, Dad. Mandarin. Anybody getting hungry? Mandarina? You can say a mandarin or a clementine. Tienen varios nombres las mandarinas porque son tan buenas. All right. As always, folks, here it is. This is our Say What soundbite. You're going to hear it 4 times. This is the first listen. Please write down as much as you can, and then I'd love to hear your observations.
You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing.
All right. There you go, folks. I don't think the person could speak any clearer. I mean, any clearer, Dad, and we're talking about Mom. My mother speaks to everybody like they're in kindergarten. Not on purpose. She's not a condescending person. She wants to be understood clearly. I guess that's also the role of a mother. Did you not understand me? Can you read my lips? No. But my dad knows my mother is one of the clearest communicators you will ever hear. She pauses, she speaks eloquently, and she doesn't go off on a tangent. Well, unless it's our answering machine message, which, by the way, we've got an answer. Somebody left us a message, so we're going to check our answering machine in just a moment after we hear this. But I'll never forget. Let me see if I don't know if I'll remember it verbatim, word for word, but thank you for calling the Alonzo residence. We cannot come to the phone right now, but if you leave us a message, we we will call you back at our earliest convenience. And I think even at one point she said, Linda, Diego, Alberto, or Natalia cannot come to the phone. I'm like, Mom, you want to put our social security numbers in there too? I mean, just say we can, thanks for calling the Alonzos. We can't make it to the phone right now. Leave a message. But it was Dad, I know you're laughing out loud right now. All right. Well, maybe it's my mom. My mom's never left us a message here on the show. All right. So let's hear the Say What soundbite for the second time, and then we'll hear who left us a message. Everybody ready? Here we go.
You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing.
All right. There you go, folks. That's the second listen. You'll hear it an additional 2 times, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure it out. All right, well, let's see who left us a message. And by the way, I'm waiting to hear from you guys. I've heard from many of you already, but if you haven't participated, tell me right now. Tell me here in the group, okay? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Are you scared? Tell me your excuse why you're not leaving us a message. And what I'll do is I'll contradict your excuse. I'll give you a good reason to do it instead of not to do it. All right. Because then I can help you with your pronunciation. And I'm sure, just like when Laura participated in Monse and all the students who have participated already, I think Anix was our first one. It was wonderful to hear from you guys, even if I had to make a little adjustment or tweak something. It was lovely. So if you want to leave us a message, like the person who left us a message today, all you have to do is record a 1-minute voice message. Share something with us. Introduce yourself in your best English possible. If you don't like it, re-record it. It's not the end of the world. Okay, take it as a practice. Haz un ensayo. Siempre se graba el ensayo, by the way. Do you know that? That's a rule. Because sometimes the rehearsal is better than the original. So you're like, you always record the rehearsal. Trust me, because there's no pressure. So you're like, just if you're singing, if you're playing, whatever you're doing, you're not under pressure. And for some reason, it comes out sometimes better. So record the first one, listen to it. If you don't like it, you can always do it again, but take it as a rehearsal and it'll take the pressure off it. Te quita un poco de esa presión. And we're not going to laugh at you. We're not, of course not. We're going to obviously cheer you on. All right, let's see who we've got here. Who left a message on our answering machine?
Hi, thanks for calling the show with no name. I can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Alberto, what's the crack? It's your man, Michael O'Malley from County Corndog, sipping on a few Guinnesses. And I thought of my good friend. I thought of calling you 33 and a third times, and then I never get around to it. Anyway, such is life. I was talking to your man yesterday, your man at the supermarket, and he said he was a big fan of Vaughan Radio. I couldn't believe it myself. Fans of Vaughan Radio out here in Ireland. It's amazing, man. You guys really are a great crack. Anyway, stop being a cheapo. Check out some Ryanair fares. I know you can get here for a couple cents. The pints are on me. Just get your arse over here. And tell your lovely family I said hi as well. Oh, and all the show with no namers. Cheers. Sláinte. All right. Wow. Look at that. Michael O'Malley. Man, it's been so long. I haven't heard from Michael O'Malley in ages. My friend from County Corndog. What? Well, yeah, he's from this lesser known county, Condado, in Ireland. So, County Cork, That's where Fitz is from. Well, he's from County Corn Dog. And a corn dog es un perrito caliente que lleva como una capa de pan, como frito, o maicena, some kind of, it's a cornstarch. They're really good, but it's not the name of a county. But Michael's from that little place, County Corn Dog. And when he called, he said, "What's the crack?" What? What's the crack? La grieta? No, it's C-R-A-I-C. C-R-A-I-C, crack. And the Irish people that I've come in contact with use this quite a bit. So what's the crack? ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué me cuentas? What's the crack? Otra vez, suena como crack, pero es C-R-A-I-C, si no me equivoco. What's the crack? I remember the first time people said, "Hey, man, what's the crack?" And I said, "Excuse me?" It took me a minute to, because we don't say that in my neck of the woods. And another thing he said at the end, using the word crack, "Oh, we had a great crack last night." Great crack, un buen rato. So if you want to get by in Ireland, you got to use the word crack. Then he said he was sipping on some pints, right? Sipping, to sip, sorber, to gulp. I think he was gulping on some pints. I think he was downing them, if I know Michael. Then he said, "I thought of you 33 and a third times." I thought of you 33 and a third times. But in Ireland, you'll hear, just like in New York, 33. We're not interested in the TH too much. Okay. So you'll hear a lot of parallels between the Irish accent and a New Yorker. I'm telling you. So I thought of you 33. I love it because the music is just melodical, right? To get around to doing something. That's something he said as well. A ver cuando logro hacerlo, right? I've been meaning to clean the garage. Limpiar el garaje. I'll get around to it. Ya llegaré a hacerlo. Ya me llevaré a hacerlo. So to get around to doing something. Fijaos, aunque sea tú, es el gerundio. I'll get around to doing it. But that means you're never going to do it, by the way. Okay. He also said the expression, "Such is life. Así es la vida." He said, "Your man." The guy at the supermarket is my man? What are you talking about, Michael? Well, I guess you guys should know that in Ireland, they love, at least, again, this is my experience with the Irish people, they love saying, "Ese tío de ahí, aunque tú no lo conoces, is your man." Your man's doing a bad parking job. Tu amigo está aparcando mal, tu colega. And you're like, I remember first time being like, I don't even know the guy. So that's another very Irish thing I've seen. Your man at the supermarket. I've never even been to that supermarket. How is he my man, my boy, my friend? So your man. What else? He said a cheapo, to be stingy, to be a cheapo is agarrado. What else did he say? The pints are on me. Eso es que yo invito a las pintas. He also said the word arse, A-R-S-E. Well, these, a lot of times they use the word arse instead of ass. Oh, he's a pain in the arse. So that's another interesting thing that you'll hear over there. And then he said cheers and sláinte. And sláinte is the Irish way to say cheers. So there you go. Thank you so much for calling, Michael O'Malley. It was great hearing from you once again. And yeah, I'm going to check out some fares, unos vuelos. Fare es el dinero que hay que pagar, el viaje. I'm going to check some fares out to Ireland sooner or later. Michael, I'm coming. Don't you worry. And he sent you guys a shout out as well. My good buddy, Michael O'Malley. Remember, if you guys want to leave us a message, it's really, really simple. All you have to do is send a 1-minute voice message to my email address. Write it down. It's aalonso@grupovon.com. All right, let's take a look at our Say What soundbite, and we'll see what you guys came up with. The first person to participate is our amiga Vero, and Vero says, an American man is complaining about being said what to do, being told what to do. But great structure there, Vero. So don't tell me what to do. So being told what to do, que le manden, no? So an American man is complaining, but great structure there. Lo único es cambiar el say por el tell. An American man is complaining about being told what to do or say at any time. Yeah, it seems like the guy is pretty fed up. Great job, Vero. just a little tweak over there. Un ajuste pequeñito ahí. Let's see. Kubla. Kubla says it sounded like an African-American gent arguing with somebody, probably one of his parents. He refused to be told how to live his life and stressed, enfatizó, I think you say enfatizar, he stressed that he didn't owe anything to him. Okay, great, interesting. You could also say, y más directo, he didn't owe him anything. Y así quitamos el to y lo hacemos más conciso. He didn't owe him anything, right? Te vale. Let me say, I don't owe, I'm going to say, I don't owe anything to you. Es correcto, pero yo diría más natural, I don't owe you anything. Bueno, siempre vamos por el atajo, right? Whatever's easier to say, whatever is shorter. Great job. All right, so far so good, guys. Germán, it's a person setting the record straight. Oh, man. Totally native, poniendo las cosas claras, setting the record straight. Are you going to tell me how to live my life? I owe you nothing. It's like a Mexican soap opera without Thalia. Yeah, it is a bit dramatic, isn't it, Germán? Let's see, Leo. In this clip from a film, a character with a steadfast voice. Wow, palabrón ahí. Steadfast, a ver cómo lo traducen. Firme, resuelto, excellent word, Leo. Steadfast. In this clip from a film, a character with a steadfast voice reproaches another for telling him what he should do with his life and what he does not, and that, right? And that, lo has escrito bien, yo lo he leído mal, and that he does not owe him anything for what he has done for him, Leonardo. Excellent. Wow. Really good job, right? Laura, I heard the stiff voice of an American man telling someone else that they have been meddling. Wow. Unbelievable. Totally natives flying all over the place over here. Meddle, entrometerse, been meddling in his life, and that he doesn't appreciate that at all because he doesn't owe them anything. Laura, fantastic job. Ricardo says it seems like an American male chatting with someone from his family and reaffirming he was free to live in the way he wants. Great. Or el in no hay que ni ponerlo. He's free to live the way he wants. No es incorrecto, pero es más directo. He's free to live the way he wants. To live in the way he wants sounds like a little bit more like poetic, kind of. He lives in the way he wants, right? Remember, English is a lot less formal than Spanish. Even the structure. I don't mean the use of words, the choice of words. I'm talking about putting our sentence. He's the brother of the sister. It sounds like you're announcing a royal family all the time, right? It's funny. I love to observe these differences. There's Chris, a super show with no namer, and she says, I heard an American man. I guess this audio comes from a movie. That's right, movie queen. He's expressing clearly that no one is going to tell him how to live his life and that he doesn't owe anybody anything. Chris, you want to know what perfection is? You got it right there. Perfection. All right. Wait a second. Wait. Kubla, unbelievable. If you got that after 2 listens, man, I don't even think you need this class because I couldn't. I think I had to listen to it 3 or 4 times. Let's check it. You say how to live my life. Yes, so far so good. So what do you think you're doing? Yes. You tell me what right. Ladies and gentlemen, unfreaking believable, dude. I don't know how you do it, but you nailed it. That's the Say What soundbite, word for word. Unbelievable speed. Remember, for the rest of us, you have 2 more listens, so you'll have 2 more chances to get all that down, amigos. But you're doing a wonderful job, so a nice round of applause for all of you. Excellent job. Unbelievable. Dude, seriously. Woo! I think when I was preparing the script It took me at least 3 or 4 listens to get it done. Also, guys, let me remind you, just around the corner, we've got Vaughan and Oxford teaming up, haciéndose equipo, teaming up. It's Vaughan and Oxford, haciendo equipo o uniéndose. And, well, I think I've told you about it, but if not, here's all the info. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. Absolutely brilliant. Stay tuned for more information. And before we go to our final, well, not our final, no, our next commercial break, I jumped the gun. Before we go to our next commercial break, it's time for homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no homophones. Show it no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And I know what you're thinking. Where's the spelling bee? Well, we're going to do things a little bit out of order today, just because a lot of times I have to judge by the amount of time I have left what we should do or not do. I don't want to get into a full section. So I'm going to give you today's homophones or not, and you tell me A, what the words are, and B, if they sound exactly the same or not. The first word is levantar, subir, alzar, elevar, aumentar. So obviously to make bigger, to lift, these would be synonyms for the word. And the second word is demoler, derribar, arrasar. So wait a second. These words are absolute, they're exact opposites. Uno es levantar y otro es tirar. Demoler. Wow. The interesting thing would be if they sounded the same. Well, I want to know what these words are and if they sound exactly the same or not. Folks, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Come on. That's right, folks. Don't forget after this show, I forgot the triumphant return of Ximena Holiday. Yeah. She is back today at 12:30 on Vaughn Radio. Test your English. Wow, what a big day. I know Nacho's excited. I know Ximena's excited. And I can imagine you guys are psyched, para ponerlo de forma americana. You guys are psyched as well. All right, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the third part of today's show with no name. We've got so much to cover in this part of the show and the fourth part. So let's get moving. We have to solve our homophones. But before we do that, before I forget, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the third time. Write down what you hear.
You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing.
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. It is our Say What soundbite. Let's go on over to our homophones right now. I gave you guys two words. The first word is levantar, subir, alzar, elevar, aumentar, incrementar, cultivar, criar o educar. It has so many meanings, as we're going to see in just a moment. But that word is pronounced raise. Now, let's see if you guys, before I give you the answer, let's see who participated. The first person is Kubla. And Kubla, those are the correct words. Good job. And he says they're homophones. Okay. Let's see. Laura says the two words are and they sound alike. Chris Valrol agrees. Oh, wait a second. So 3 super students agree, and they say that these words are homophones. Well, I just pronounced the first word. The first word was raise. Say it with me. Raise. Okay? To raise something. Now, we looked at this the other day. Something rises by itself. The sun rises. Prices rise. Okay? If they raise prices, lo tiene que hacer otra persona. That's the difference, right? Raise. But as we said, it has so many more meanings. También es un incremento. I want to ask for a raise. En inglés británico dirían a rise, right? I want to ask for a raise or a rise. So also, let me give you some other one. We raised the beach umbrella by 6 inches. Levantar, subir. Raise your hand if you have a question. Would you please raise the volume or turn up the volume? Guys, we need to raise our level. If you guys are having a bad day, I'll tell you to raise the level. Then I said, I need a raise, aumento. We're raising money. We're going to raise money. Vamos a recaudar fondos to raise the rent, subir los alquileres. Does that sound familiar? To raise children. I'm raising my daughter in English. So what a tough word there. I'm raising my daughter. Did I just say what I think I said? I'm raising my daughter. Uva pasa. Yeah, it's a raisin. Pero como no pronunciamos la G, pues se escribe y se pronuncia igual. How are you raising your daughter? Raisin. She doesn't like raisins. Okay. Also, you can raise corn, but I think it's more common to say to grow. Una cosecha, to grow. So a lot of meanings, and I'm sure if I look down the list here, we've got a lot of them. To raise hell, armar un escándalo, right? To raise a family, formar o educar hijos, no, llevar una familia, formar. To raise a question, plantear una pregunta. To raise an eyebrow, levantar la ceja. Okay, to raise awareness, despertar conciencia, se usa siempre. We're trying to raise awareness for people with Down syndrome, for example, right? So raise funds, recaudar fondos, right? To raise the price, to raise your hand, to raise the bar, subir el listón, to raise your consciousness, concienciarse, raise your voice. Could you raise your voice? I can't hear you. Okay. And también puede ser, don't raise your voice at me, young man. Okay. A mí no me levantes la voz. So, wow, wow, wow. Además de raisin en el gerundio, suena como en el gerundio pronunciada a la americana, raisin. I've been raising my daughter for the last 3 years. Raisin. Ooh, okay. I thought it was funny. I thought we were playing with words. But the question now is, does that second word, which is interesting because let's see, a lot of you guys spelt it the American way. Thank you. That's awesome. Because there's 2 acceptable spellings to this one. So the second word can be spelled R-A-Z-E, and it can also be spelled R-A-S-E. I spell it with a Z. So does that sound the same? They are going to raise the building. Ahora, sin verlo escrito o sin contexto, no sabe si es demoler o levantar because they're homophones. And guess what? In fact, I'm going to ask you guys, there's a third homophone in here. Another word that sounds like raise, levantar, y mil usos más. Raise, demoler, derribar, arrasar. What's that third word that sounds exactly the same? And also a nice round of applause to all of you. Our winner, Kubla, Laura, Chris Valrol. All right. Nice stuff, my amigos. Also, a round of applause for Laura. She got today's Say What soundbite. Nice job, Laura. Nice job. All right. Well, folks, that was wonderful. You all got it right. But right now, it's time to move on to another section. Today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, folks. It's our Spelling Bee. It's our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name. All right, well, let's take a look over here. Kubla, yes, that's the word I was looking for. It's raise. Rayos de sol, raise. So the word raise, levantar. Raise, demoler. And raise, plural de rayos, no, rayos. Those 3 words sound exactly the same. Oh, and don't forget about Ray's in New York. What? Ray's Pizza. R-A, el nombre, Raymond Ray, apóstrofe S, Ray's Pizza. Now I'm getting hungry. Unbelievable. All right, well, let's take a look at today's Spelling Bee over here, my amigos. As always, I'm going to fly through these words, and hopefully somebody will be able to get them. This is round 1. These are all proper nouns. They're all titles, so there's going to be capitalization in general. All right, here we go, folks. The first one is G-I-O-A-C-H-I-N-O space R-O-S-S-I-N-I. The second one is T-E-A-T-R-O space A-R-G-E-N-T-I-N-A. The third one is P-I-E R-R-E space B-E-A-U-M-A-R-C-H-A-I-S. The fourth one is A-N-G-E-L-O space T-O-S-E-L-L-I. The fifth one is U-S-E-L-E-S-S space P-R-E-C-A-U-T-I-O-N. And the last one is BARBER space OF space SEVILLE. Give me a second here, guys. In fact, I'm going to have a sip of water if you guys don't mind. I'm still a bit congested, as I'm sure you can hear in my voice, but man, I've been expelling stuff all weekend long, all morning. There's nothing like a hot shower, is there? No hay nada como una ducha, a steamy hot shower. I mean, you really get everything out. And something I noticed, again, I don't want to complain about Madrid, but I prefer a little more humidity in the air. It's pretty dry here. And a lot of times, like, as somebody who, gets congested, I prefer a little bit of humidity in the air. Now, unfortunately, I can't have much humidity in my studio. It's not a good idea. Humidity and electronics don't mix. So there you go, folks. All right, well, let's take a look over here. I've got two students who think that they got it. Unbelievable if you did, because I literally flew through it. Let's take a look over here. The first person to participate is Kubla, and there's a mistake in the first one, buddy. So not even going to continue there, but the rest looks right at first glance. But again, we're not looking for speed, folks. Remember, at least me, I don't know about the other teachers, but this teacher prefers accuracy to speed. Let's see if Born to Iron Man was able to mix those two. The first one is correct. The second one is correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And the sixth one is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, dude, but perfect. Perfect and faster than I can do it. And I'm your teacher. Seriously, I think my brain just doesn't work that fast. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Kubla, close. It's a great expression to teach you guys. Close, but no cigar. Uy. The translation, uy. I think that would be the translation. All right. This is round two. I expect all of you to be able to get it in round two. The first one is GIOACHINO space ROSSINI. The second one is TEATRO space ARGENTINA. The third one is PIERRE space BEAUMARCHAIS. The fourth one, ANGELO space TOSELLI. The fifth one, second to last one, is USELESS space PRECAUTION. And the last one, BARBER space OF space SEVILLE. And I see, ladies and gentlemen, another student who has nailed it. Give it up for your classmate, Chris Valrol. Excellent effort by Kubla. As I said, the expression there is close, but no cigar. Born to Iron Man, taking his title as always, Chris Valrol. I think you got it, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, before I started the second round. But again, it doesn't matter. The idea is to get it as fast as you can, but correct, as we said. If it's fast and incorrect, then we're missing the most important part. But either way, you guys are usually spot on. Excellent job. Now, these were all people and things that were related to Rossini's opera, The Barber of Seville. I'm sure you're familiar with that one. The Barber of Seville, or as it's also called in English, The Useless Precaution. The Useless Precaution. And that was our fifth word, I believe. Yeah, the useless precaution. We also call it, I honestly, I've never heard it called the useless precaution. Precaución inútil. I've always heard it called the Barber of Seville. The Barber of Seville. So the first person that we looked at was the composer, Giacchino, excuse my pronunciation, Rossini, often known as Rossini because he's a great. Teatro Argentina, not located in Argentina. Well, maybe there's one there, but the one I'm talking about today is Teatro Argentina in Rome. And it was because today, in 1816, Rossini's opera, notice I didn't say opera, I said opera. It's interesting, la e nos lo comemos, opera. Rossini's opera, The Barber of Seville, premiered at the Teatro Argentina in Rome. So, and the other people on the list, Pierre Beaumarchais, he was the one who wrote the original comedy, the French writer who wrote The Barber of Seville in 1775. Then it was turned into an opera, without a doubt. And then there's Angelo Toselli, and you might not know who he is, but he was the one who did the designs, the set design for the opera. So these were all people who were working together to create an incredible moment in history. And I'll use this opera that we're looking at to teach you the expression, it's not over till the fat lady sings. I think you have aquí no se acaba, no lo cuentes, no se acabó. Viene a decir, no se ha acabado todavía. So it's not over till the fat lady sings. But, well, our spelling bee really is over. So I guess the fat lady has sung because it's time to move on to today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at a flick, and maybe you guys know the flick, maybe you don't. But either way, you're going to learn some English from this movie. Let's take a look at the trailer. As always, if you guys can figure it out what movie it is, great. You can let us know in our virtual chat room. If not, write it down on a piece of paper. The important thing is participate. However you do, whether you're doing it in the group, whether you're doing it, jotting things down on a piece of paper or your tablet or your computer, your phone, there's no wrong place to take notes. Why? I know in this show, for example, we look at a lot of stuff in 2 hours. We look at homophones, we look at puns, juegos de palabras, double trouble. So spelling, we test a lot of different things, our listening with Say What, and also our dictation and writing skills. And remember, if you want to practice speaking, that's in your hands. You got to do that. I can't do it for you. So that's up to you there. You know, people, I want to improve my speaking. I get that question a lot, like at a book fair. Alberto, I want to improve my speaking. And you know what? They say, what advice can you give me? And you know what I say? Speak more often. Speak as often as you possibly can, right? Oh, Chris, hasta el rabo todo es toro. It's a very Spanish idiomatic expression, right? We say it's not over till the fat lady sings. All right, here is your trailer. Set in the 1930s, this movie brings a group of pretentious, rich and famous together for a weekend of relaxation at a hunting resort. But when a murder occurs, each one of these interesting characters becomes a suspect. It's not Clue. No es Cluedo. Clue, pista. I'll give you a clue. It's not Clue. Sounds like it, right? So it's set, ambientado, I believe you say. No, es donde tiene lugar la película. It's set in the 1930s. And we looked at the word before, the set design. Como ponen el atrezo, right? The set designers, the person who designs. Aquí vamos a poner un muro y aquí unas cadenas para que en la escena esta, right? The set design. Very, very important. So with this movie, another usage of the word set, además de plateau, is it's set, ambientado, correct me if I'm wrong, in the 1930s. This movie brings a group of pretentious, it's not pretentious, right? Rich and famous together for a weekend of relaxation at a hunting resort. Now, for me, as you guys know, I'm not a hunter or anything like that. I don't think I could shoot an animal. I don't know. I've never done it, and I don't think I could. But hey, I'm not criticizing. Everybody do what you want with your life. That's your prerogative, right? As long as you don't do it to me. So you shoot me, I want to shoot you back. So at a hunting resort. But when a murder occurs, ocurre, we say the word occurs. Es un poco más formal que happens. Each one of these interesting characters becomes a suspect. So, suspect es un sospechoso. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a couple winners. The first person to get it, Kubla. Also, Chris Valrol. The movie is called Gosford Park. Gosford Park. And this is by director Robert Altman. I think one of my favorite directors, American directors, Robert Altman. The movie came out in the year 2001. Grace says she loves the cast. Well, the cast is just incredible. I mean, just to name a few people, Maggie Smith, Ryan Philippe, Emma Watson, Michael. I mean, I can't read the names now. Let me zoom in. Guys, I'm getting old here. I can't read the way I used to. Y también está escrito, it's written in cursive. Well, I'm sure you could tell me better off because I haven't seen the movie in a long time. But one thing that Robert Altman always does in his movies is he keeps the camera moving. The camera is always moving in his movies, even if it's just slightly, ligeramente. It's moving. There's constant movement in his movies. And I remember studying that. And let's take a look at the scene here. Gosford Park. Lady Sylvia McCordle, she says, Mrs. Wilson, a major crisis has arisen. Crisis, en vez de crisis, we say crisis. A major crisis has arisen, ha surgido. Un poco más formal, el arisen, right? I've just found out that Dr. Wiseman won't eat meat, and I don't know what to do. No, me acabo de enterar que Dr. Wiseman no come carne, and I don't know what to do. I can't ask Mrs. Croft. No le puedo preguntar a la señora Croft. I simply don't dare. I simply don't dare. No me atrevo. And Mrs. Wilson says, oh, everything's under control, your ladyship. Ladyship, como le digas eso a alguien, es like, deberías hacer la reverencia también. Oh, she is lady. Remember, in the States, we don't have lords and ladies, so you just sound ridiculous. Mr. Wiseman's valet informed us as soon as he's arrived. So we've prepared a special version of the soup, right? Mr. Wiseman's valet, okay, el que le aparca, el que le conduce. You can also say his chauffeur, informed us as soon as he's arrived. So we've prepared a special version of the soup. Soup, la sopa. He can eat fish. He can't eat, es que no puede. He can, es como decimos he can. He can eat fish, fíjate. He can eat fish and the hors d'oeuvres. This is a French word for cosas que podemos comer con los dedos, de picoteo. They're usually passed around on a tray. Those are hors d'oeuvres. And there'll be a Welsh rabbit for the game course. And game is comida de campo. Remember, they're hunting. I forget the word game over here. Game, yo ya sé que vosotros sabéis que es juego, pero también game es presa, de caza, right? Game. So she says, there'll be a Welsh rabbit for the game course. And a course is cada parte del menú, right? It's a 5-course meal. Se come 5 platos, right? I'm not sure what we're going to do about the entree, but we'll think of something. And the entree, aunque parece que entrada, entree, is el plato principal. So that can be a little bit confusing when you look at restaurants. If you want to learn more about restaurants, I've got a chapter in my book, English Everywhere. And folks, you know what? I can't believe it. We've got to go to our fourth part of the show, our third commercial break. I can't believe it. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. And I hope you'll join us in the fourth part of the show. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. Don't forget, folks. You've got amazing programs, and we are about a half hour away. That's right. A half hour away from the triumphant return of Ximena Holiday and her program Test Your English. That's right, amigos. Test Your English on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30, right before lunch. After that, you got the lunchtime show with Rob and Andy, followed by Back to Basics with Taj Pasqua. You've got Western Civilizations. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules. You've got The Salad with Dave Boys. And so many amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. Download our free app. Follow us on social media. Don't forget to rate the podcast as well. Spread the word. I always tell you guys, if you love us, let the world know. Scream it. Shout it from the mountaintops. Oh, I love Vaughn Radio. I'm learning with Vaughn Radio. I'm laughing with Vaughn Radio. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show, where we've got so much stuff to do. So let's get rocking with today's Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And this one, I think this one's going to be really easy. I could be wrong. We'll see by the amount of people that participate and how well you do collectively. Here it is. No pretendo montar un escándalo, o un pollo, as you say here. Pero hueles a muerto. Yeah, I looked it up, lo busqué, y nuestra forma se puede decir literal así, no se dice. I guess you could, but it would make sense, but it's not like a collocation we would use. So, I think I caught you all off guard. Os pillé desprevenidos ahí. So, no pretendo montar un escándalo, un pollo, as you call it, pero hueles a muerto. You have to use the same word twice. Also, I'm going to give you guys the Say What soundbite. This is your fourth and final listen.
You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing.
All right, folks, there you go. That was today's Say What soundbite. We already have some students who figured it out. As we said, Kubla got it, and I believe Laura. But if anybody else wants to take a stab at it, now's the time. Now's the time, folks, because we will reveal it in about 15 minutes or so. And as you know, in that section, Say What, you'll hear all different accents, all different situations, all different vocabulary. So that's a way we can bring all that stuff here to the show. In fact, we heard an Irish accent today. That's right. We heard an Irish one. Well, something like Michael O'Malley. You could ask Fitz if it sounds Irish. All right, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble and see how you folks did. The first one to participate is Kubla, and the translation, just in case you guys want to participate, no pretendo montar un escándalo o un pollo, pero hueles a muerto, chaval. Kubla says, I don't mean to raise hell, but you smell like hell. I'll tell you what, dude, it's not the one I have here, but I'll take it. It works. Okay, Kubla says, I don't mean to raise hell, liarla, right? There's a Run DMC, their most famous album, Raising Hell, right? Que puede ser, si no lo habéis visto, puede ser demoliendo, right? Tirando, arrasando o levantando. Piénsalo, en este caso es levantar el infierno, lo traes aquí a la tierra. You're lifting, So I don't mean to raise hell, but you smell like hell. Excellent. Kubla, I like it. I'll take it. I will take it. Let's see, Laura. She says, I don't mean to create a stink, but you stink. Laura, let me look it up. Create a stink. I've never used create a Yeah, it's in, you know what? It's in the idiom dictionary that I usually use. So it is correct, even though I would say it a different way. Give it up for Laura as well. So Kubla and Laura both participating, both getting it right, and both giving us two different ways to say it. And neither one of those ways is the way I have here. So that's great. Excellent job, guys. All right, so no pretendo montar un escándalo. I don't mean to raise a stink. So that's the only thing, Laura. Instead of create, I think we use raise more because it's one syllable. Create is two. So I think it's just, it rolls off your tongue. I don't mean to raise a stink, okay? Or to make a scene. That's another way to say it. Hacer un piénsalo, una escena, montar una escena. I don't mean to raise a stink, but you stink to high heaven. So, Laura, you got the right word there, stink. I don't mean to raise a stink. No tengo la intención de hacer tal cosa. I don't mean to raise a stink, which we looked at the word raise in our homophone section, but you stink. And if you want to say hueles a muerto, lo he buscado, nuestra versión, bueno, sé la nuestra. No me acordaba que era hueles a muerto, but we say you stink to high heaven. So that's interesting. Kubla, you put to raise hell, and mine had heaven in it. You can't plan that stuff, folks. You can't. So I don't mean to raise a stink, but you stink. Y si queremos darle énfasis en inglés, it's you stink to high heaven. Hueles hasta el cielo alto. O sea, llega tu olor hasta... So to raise a stink, to raise hell, to stink to high heaven. Wow, sounds apocalyptic it isn't. It's fun. It's the show with no name. And now it's time for another section where we play with words called You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, folks. That's right. You're joking only on the show with no name. And this is where we take a look at a few different jokes. Usually there's some kind of theme with these jokes. And, well, there's your theme. We're going to the army, el ejército. Well, the armed forces. Si no queremos decir Navy, Marines, the armed forces. But then you've got the Air Force, you've got the Navy, you've got the Marines, and I don't even know the difference. But the army is el ejército, right? The army. Again, the best way, somebody's in the armed forces. And then it doesn't matter which branch, right? All right. I got to say, I've never been into war stuff myself. I did used to watch MASH. Remember the show MASH? ¿Os acordáis de ese programa? Where they had a mobile hospital in the middle of a, I don't remember what country it is, but I used to watch the show. It was on TV when I was a little kid, MASH. And G.I. Joe, pero hasta ahí. That's it. Oh, and Saving Private Ryan was good. But I don't like big battle scenes, and I don't know. It's not my style. I prefer character dramas. All right, let's take a look at these jokes, and let's see if you guys get them. What is the military's least favorite day of the year? What is the military's least favorite day of the year? Easy. March 4th. Oh, are you serious? March 4th? Do you get it? Oh my God. March 4th. Did you get it? Okay, Kubla's giving us the double meaning. Okay, that's the double meaning. I'll explain it for you guys. Did anybody else get it? I'm taking you get it because you put the two words. Okay, well, I'll explain, folks. March 4th is el 4 de marzo, right? March 4th. But also, March 4th, F-O-R-T-H, o sea, sin la U, suena igual que fourth, sin la U, y es hacia adelante, right? March 4th. So you get it now? Desfilar is to march. You get it now? March 4th es una fecha. March 4th is march forward, desfilar hacia adelante. I thought it was funny. March 4th. All right, here's another one. Why is the army so strict about soldiers' uniforms? Okay. Why is the army so strict about soldiers' uniforms? Well, easy. To minimize casualties. No. To minimize casualties. They have a strict dress code when it comes to uniforms because they want to minimize casualties. Casualties, bueno, se pronuncia un poco diferente. Casualties, bajas, pérdidas. So listen to the difference. How many casualties were there in the earthquake in Turkey and Syria? Bajas. But casualties, con pausa y otras palabras, son camisetas en plan casual, no son de vestir. So you get it now? Why is the army so strict about soldiers' uniforms? To minimize casualties or casualties? All right. Last one. I promise here. Okay. I'm sorry, Dad. I just don't want to join the Navy, says the son to his father, because his father was in the Navy and he wants his son to follow in his footsteps, right? So, why is the no, I just gave you that one. So the boy says, "I'm sorry, Dad. I just don't want to join the Navy. No quiero unirme a la Marina." I think you say is the Navy. And the father says, "Well, son, you have officially earned my seal of disapproval." My seal of disapproval. So his father tells him, "You got to join the Navy like your father. You want to follow in my footsteps." And he says, "Nah, Dad, I'm not going to join the Navy." And his father says, "Well, son, you have officially earned my seal of disapproval." Remember, seal es sello. O sea, que no te doy la aprobación. Te doy el sello, right? My seal of approval, seal of disapproval. Correct? But also seal is una foca is a seal. But also a Navy SEAL are those guys who can go like under mud. They're like the hardcore unit of the Navy. I see you guys are telling me that you can read comments, you can't read comments. Remember, guys, keep the chatter in the chat room here to a minimum, because if I'm looking at, I can see your comments, I can't see your comments, then it's just distracting me a little bit. So try and keep the comments based on what we're doing. I'm sorry if you're having technical problems, but there's nothing I can do. So it's just a little bit distracting. I apologize for not being able to read every comment and also do the show, but there's not much I can do about that. And it's weird that you see them, you don't see them, but the show must go on regardless. So try and keep the comments, of course, make sure at least they have to do with what we're talking about here. If you're having technical problems, I'm going to tell you what the IT department always says: restart. Reinicia. No, I don't know. It works for me sometimes, not all the time. Well, nothing works all the time. All right, well, folks, it's time for another section, a section we call Famous Birthday Trivia. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone. That's right, folks. That's right. Famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let me give you a little clue here for our first one. I'll give you an audio clue. Ready? Here we go. Now that they're probably going to cut the video short. Living off of her and the drippings from a ceiling. It's okay, eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feelings. Something. I'm sure you guys know the song, especially if you saw The Batman. I love that song. It's called Something in the Way, if you're not familiar with it. It's by Nirvana. I know I didn't do the greatest version of it. Sorry about that. I did what I could with the voice I have. All right. So, yeah, this is Nirvana. I love Nirvana. Nirvana is one of my favorite groups. They got me through that. It's not anger, it's angst. The word is angst. Esta rabia de la juventud. Because, okay, you're angry, but not really. You're angry at the world. You're angry. It's angst. It's a different word. And well, I think Nirvana captured the angst, at least of my generation, and they changed music single-handedly. I mean, all of a sudden, the groups with the spandex, lycra, and the makeup kind of disappeared and looked a little bit ridiculous. I still love that music too, and I don't think he meant to do it. In fact, if you've seen The Batman, the song I just played, Something in the Way, is in the movie. And when I saw an interview with the director, he's saying Batman in that movie is Kurt Cobain. So he's a guy who's a victim of his fame, of his success, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And I was like, I got that. I lo pillé. Great movie. I know some people criticized it, and I'm not even a Robert Pattinson fan. I don't think I've ever seen him in another movie because I've never seen all the other ones that the pasteleras. I don't see those. But I thought he was great as Batman, and people said, well, he seemed like he was inexperienced. I'm like, wasn't that the whole idea? He was just finding out that he had this special, these special things that made him, the chosen one, to say it in a certain way. So, number one, lead singer of Nirvana. He left us all with a shotgun blast to the head in 1994, and I'll never forget that day. I was in my sister's room, and we were watching MTV. It was in the morning, and I'll never forget. They announced this guy, I won't say his name, found dead in his home. And that was pretty hardcore because I was like, wait, he was like our leader, kind of, at least musically, at least, helping us get through those difficult times. Number two, this person was born in 1925, an American director and screenwriter. He was part of the new Hollywood era, as they call it. And, he did a lot of great stuff. He did MASH, the movie, in 1970. We were just talking about MASH. He did Gosford Park, which was today's name, that movie. So did I say this person's name? Yes, absolutely. And last but not least, an actor from the Bahamas. He was also a director and diplomat. He passed in 2022, so last year. And this guy was the first person from the Bahamas to win an Academy Award. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor. He was in Raisin in the Sun. We looked at the word raisin before. I'm raising my daughter to eat raisin. A Raisin in the Sun. I don't know what it was called in Spanish. Folks, we've got some winners over here. The first person to get them all is Chris Valrol. Nice job. Also Kubla as well. Great job, folks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how fast. And you got all three of them. All right, well, let's take a look at our Say What soundbite. We got to solve that. And that was Sidney Poitier. Oh, I didn't tell you who the people were. Number one, Kurt Cobain. Number two, Robert Altman, the director we talked about. And Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier, famous actor. This was from him in a movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, where he's arguing with his dad. The movie came out, in 1967, and this is the scene. You listen to me. Tú me vas a escuchar. Me escuchas. You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. Dices que no quieres decirme cómo vivir mi vida. So what do you think you've been doing? ¿Y qué crees que estás haciendo? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got. Me dices los derechos que tengo, que no tengo. Or what I owe to you for what you've done for me. So you can say what I owe to you or what I owe you. Yo lo diría sin el tú, como os dije antes. For what you've done for me. Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing. Yo no te debo nada. ¿No? Yo te debo cero. I owe you. Ojo con esa palabra porque no es lo mismo own, poseer, que owe. Here is Academy Award-winning actor Sidney Poitier.
You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. And now it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's Name That Lyric, and a nice round of applause for all of you. What a wonderful job today and every day. Chris, a raisin in the sun. El sol brilla para todo. El sol brilla para todos. Perdona. A raisin, nosotros decimos una uva pasa al sol. A raisin in the sun. All right, folks. Well, as always, we're going to give you a song here. I'm going to tell you what song it is just because we don't have much time. This is Nirvana, On a Plane. En you say, en una meseta. I'm on a plane. I can't complain. ¿Y cómo se sabe? Porque no se escribe plane como avión. These are homophones as well. So I'm on a plane, estoy en un avión. Pero si, eso es P-L-A-N-E. Pero si pones I'm on a plane, a plateau, plain, plains, the Great Plain. Yeah, it's a place. I'm on a plane, kind of a flat piece, right? A flat stretch of land. So I'm on a plane. I can't complain is Nirvana. It's an awesome song. If you haven't heard it before, he says, I'll start this off without any words. I'll start this off. Empiezo esto sin letra, without any words. I got so high, me coloqué tanto, I scratched till I bled, que me rasqué hasta que salió sangre. I love myself better than you. I know it's wrong, so what should I do? Me quiero a mí más que a ti. Y sé que no es lo correcto, así que ¿qué hago? The finest day that I've ever had was when I learned to cry on command. El día más bonito que he tenido es cuando aprendí a llorar así, como que te lo piden, llora, y sabía llorar. And folks, it's On a Plane by Nirvana. If you haven't heard the song, it's a really great song. I do hope you'll sing it with me. Thank you again for all your hard work. And we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Stop this. Watching words. I got so high. I scratched till I bled. Love myself better than you. I know it's wrong. So what should I do?